The date, January 21st, 2025. The setting, the US-Mexico border, a stark line in the sand. Former President Donald Trump, a figure synonymous with the very notion of a border wall, is back. He's here not just to revisit a promise but to resurrect a controversy, the declaration of a national emergency at the southern border. This time, however, the political landscape has shifted, the legal battles have left their scars, and the nation watches with bated breath. Trump's declaration is more than just a policy announcement, it's a lightning rod, igniting familiar debates about immigration, executive power, and the very soul of America. It's a story that began years ago, a story of a wall that never quite materialized, of legal challenges that reached the highest court, and of a nation deeply divided on the question of its identity. As Trump speaks, the echoes of his previous attempts to declare national emergencies in 2019 and 2021 hang heavy in the air. These were not mere policy footnotes but defining chapters in his presidency, chapters filled with legal battles, congressional showdowns, and a public discourse pushed to its limits. The question on everyone's mind is simple, yet profound. Will history repeat itself, or are we on the precipice of something new, something different, something more? The year 2019 feels both distant and hauntingly familiar. It was the year Trump, then in his first term, made his first attempt to circumvent Congress and secure funding for his long-promised border wall by declaring a national emergency. He argued that a crisis at the border demanded swift, decisive action that only he, as president, could take. His words were met with cheers from his supporters, who saw in his actions a decisive leader taking charge. They saw a border overrun, a nation at risk, and a president willing to fight for their security, their values, their vision of America. But across the aisle, and indeed across the nation, a very different reaction was brewing. Opponents saw in Trump's declaration not a decisive leader but a dangerous precedent, a blatant power grab that undermined the very foundations of American democracy. They saw a president who, thwarted by Congress, was willing to bypass the legislative process, to disregard the delicate balance of power, all in the name of a wall, a symbol freighted with meaning, a physical manifestation of division. The legal challenges to Trump's 2019 declaration were swift and unrelenting. Lawsuits were filed, arguments were made, and the case made its way through the labyrinthine corridors of the American judicial system, reaching the highest court in the land. The Supreme Court, in a 5-4 decision, ultimately upheld Trump's ability to declare a national emergency. However, the victory was short-lived. The legal battles exposed the fragility of Trump's claims, the tenuousness of his grip on power. The political landscape was shifting, and the 2020 election loomed large. In 2021, just days before leaving office, Trump once again declared a national emergency at the border. It was a move widely seen as symbolic, a last-ditch effort to cement his legacy on immigration. However, the incoming Biden administration swiftly overturned the declaration, signaling a new era in American politics, an era where the border wall, once a potent symbol, was relegated to the background. Section 4. The Political Chessboard, Stakes and Strategies. Now, in 2025, Trump is back, and the stakes are higher than ever. He's no longer the incumbent, but a challenger, a figure from the past seeking to reclaim the mantle of leadership. His declaration of a national emergency is not just about the border, it's about power, about relevance, and about his place in the American story. His supporters, energized by his return, see in this declaration a return to strength, a rejection of the status quo. They see a leader unafraid to take on the establishment, to fight for what he believes in, even if it means bending the rules, even if it means pushing the limits of his power. But for his opponents, this is not strength but recklessness. They see a man clinging to power, a man willing to divide the nation, to sow chaos, all for his own political gain. They see a threat to democracy, a threat to the rule of law, a threat to the very fabric of American society. Section 5, A Nation Watching Implications and Uncertainties. As Trump speaks, the nation watches, holding its breath. The implications of his declaration are far-reaching, the uncertainties profound. Will this be the spark that ignites a new era of political and legal battles? Will it further deepen the divisions in American society? The answers to these questions remain elusive. One thing is certain: Trump's declaration is not an isolated event. It's a symptom of a deeper malaise, a reflection of a nation grappling with its identity, its values, its future. The road ahead is uncertain, the path forward fraught with peril, but in the words of a long-ago president, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. As America navigates this latest chapter in its ever-evolving story, one can only hope that wisdom, courage, and a commitment to the principles of democracy will prevail.